It's not so much the endurance part of it, it's the attrition. You know, it's making sure it's triple nut and bolting and checking every single piece and part in the car and making sure your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. And a lot of it, I mean, where we're starting is fortunate. You know, we're up front with a lot of great drivers, to where you don't got to deal with some of these, I mean, nonetheless, kind of weapons in the back. The guys that, you know, might be struggling a little bit with, you know, their setups or whatever it may be. So, you know, to be where we're at and to set the pace is a big thing. To have clean air out front, it's just one of those things that just, it's nice. It's nice to be out front.
And so tell me about, you know, you weren't one of the top drivers in practice when you were up there, but
yeah.
I mean, was it a surprise lap? I mean, what did you do different between practice and qualifying?
I mean, not to be arrogant or cocky, but I've always had a fortune. I've just been really fortunate in qualifying. I've always had, you know, when I ran those 6 East races back east, we always kind of struggled for finishes. We had a couple top fives, but the one thing we did have was every start we were in the top 10. You know, we always qualified really, really well, and it's just it's kind of been one of my attributes as a driver. I've always been really confident. I got a good rhythm I get into when it comes to qualifying, and it's pretty much a good baseline feeling I need to get to from practice. So I took and we were able to do a mock run in practice, so I knew we had a good car, not as good as a 3. You know, we did some testing here, so we're fortunate enough to get some lap times in, but to do the lap I did, you know, that surprised me for sure. You know, and it's just my hat's off to Junior Joyner and Dan Smith and Byron Campbell, these guys for even giving us just the car. You know, the driver's got the easy part really. It's just all about the equipment you got.
And oh, I just had one too. Oh, what are your plans for this year? I mean, are you going to be racing the West Series or what?
No, well, we're hoping to. I mean, depending on how this weekend goes, it's one of those things where, you know, if this race goes smooth and we can get through it in one piece and keep the car in one piece, and you know, come out of here with, you know, our heads held high and, you know, reared up and ready to go to Phoenix. We'd really like to run the West race at Phoenix, but it's one of those things. You know, money's tight nowadays, and we got one car, so it's one of those things where you got to take care of it. And there's a lot of guys out there that could wreck you, and you know, there's a lot of things, mishaps and problems that can go wrong. So our thoughts and plans are to run a limited schedule, hopefully in the West, maybe a few races, a few of the bigger races. But 2011, we're going to race the Southwest Tour, NASCAR Southwest Tour full time, with SB Crankshafts as our primary sponsor, and we're looking forward to putting that together and hopefully doing some West races.